Top of the night, top of the day, whatever the case may be. My name's Ben Matthews, aka Ben Time Traveler. I am who I say I am. Your alien government with inside the government ain't. Trust me on this. I know them by their names. You know, the more and more I'm researching about Epstein, the more and more a bigger picture is coming into play here. I mean, he was a pervert from day one, and that's bad enough being a pedophile. But the more I learn about him, the more I start to see a bigger picture emerge. He started off with one of his first jobs, which he was a math teacher in an upper class high school, and Roy wasn't even qualified for that job, but he is a math wizard. Let's just be honest here about him, man. Shit, he was a hustler on things too. But anyway, he got he got canned for that job, and the story is for messing around with the little girls at the high school. Being a teacher there, man. He used to try to go to their parties and stuff, man. The kids' parties and shit. Yeah, he was he was a pedophile right off Jump Street, man, from day one. Yeah, but in Barr, the one that had him arrested, his son had a connection with this guy Epstein, and his son wrote a few different books. And one of the books he wrote, I mean, I just can't make this shit up, man. I'm telling you, man. They'd like to tell you the truth right in front of your face. But anyway, one of the books he wrote is about aliens and they come to Earth and they kidnap men and women and make them sex slaves. And I mean, it's just a straight up freaked out story, man. You know, but not too far from the truth, mind you. From reality. But yeah, that was Barr's son, and to, to sit there to read that book, it's sick actually. He, then he that guy that got chopped up over there in Saudi Arabia, I think it was, and shit. There was a connection there too, but continue on with Epstein and shit, man. He he's always had connections because another job he had. I ain't gonna mention no companies and shit, man. It's just the way it's gonna be right here. But his job was to take money, pretty much hide it, make it disappear, for tax reasons and whatnot. And shit. That was his job. But he was crossing the line with that company, and that's why they canned him because he was. They didn't want to. They didn't want to get involved in it and messed up and shit, man. It's bad enough what they were doing and shit, but they were towing the line, man. Of more or less kind of like illegal, but not. But he was going over the line. He was doing illegal. But he gained a lot of clients in that period of time. Wealthy clients, billionaires. Well, he hooked up with this guy. Can't remember his name. Think think hard enough, I probably will. But he hooked up with this dude that was the so-called middleman This is when the Soviet Union and shit was going down and shit, and you had everybody over there selling all kinds of military weapons and shit, man. Guns, tanks, planes, whatever, man. It's a free for all over there and shit, man. Well, the guy he was working for was the middleman. He set up the deals and shit, you know. He set up the deals and for the weapons and to the people the weapons are sold for, you know, and he handled the money, make sure these people got their money and he got his cut and shit. And then where's Epstein come in? Epstein would fucking hide the money, launder it, you know, make it disappear. And I probably imagine the same thing was with Trump. Um, Probably money being disappeared, laundered. But you got to go back and think about Barr being the one that arrested him, and the charges they arrested him for. It was, and they silenced him. You know, we all know he's dead, right? They silenced him, but they wanted to silence him from the other activity, the weapons trade and the money laundering shit. And we're talking governments. We're not just talking United States government. We're talking numerous governments, man, that were using him to make money disappear, blah, blah, blah. That's how he got so filthy rich, man. But the more and more you start to look at the big picture, it, it's sick enough about the children, but to cover up everything else with the guns and the weapons being sold and the money laundering and shit, because these are elite, man. These are the richest of the richest. Even Bill Gates. He was, you know, Bill Gates can run his mouth all he wants. He's still fervent. And he was doing some shit with his money, man. And Epstein would handle it, man, for a lot of rich people, man. But on top of that, a lot of just call them government acts, agents or whatever you want to call them. You know, they're just useful fools. You know, my books and shit. Just like that guy that chopped up that dude over there in Saudi Arabia. I do believe Saudi Arabia. Could be wrong, but my memory ain't like it used to be. But he was a fall guy. The family that, and I'm trying to be careful how I mention names. The family covered their own ass, where they would never be brung into it, you know, tied into it. This is true all throughout the world. Different groups of individuals, they don't make sure that they're not directly tied into none of that shit, man. They always have like a relative and shit, man, that will take the fall and shit. And yeah, it's in England and Middle East. But the more and more I think about Trump, you know, because you know he just showed everybody about the Russia bullshit being fake and shit, and Obama being the one directing it and shit. He's already, you know, they're showing that shit now, which you know we all knew to begin with anyway. But why cover Epstein's ass on other crimes. You know, why not charge him for being a pedophile and all the rest of the shit, the money laundering and see, never really had no direct contact with any of the gun sales and weapons and shit like that, but and that's their drugs were involved. I mean, he's had his hand in the cookie jar, man, for a lot of different things. Well, why not charge him? Because the government knew about it. Because the governments are involved. You had different governments calling the United States of America saying, don't bring that in, don't bring that in, you know, and then the United States government itself being involved in illegal activity and shit, so called. Whether it's the CIA, which has always been corrupt from day one and shit. But yeah, you want to call him an agent, call him whatever the hell you want to call him and shit, man. He worked for different governments throughout the world, man. And I believe, you know, that's the story we should be looking at. That's the story we should be researching. That's the truth and facts that we should try bringing out to the forefront. But they see, that's what I'm saying. They're showing you a shiny object with the left hand and shit, and you're looking over at that, but the right hand is the one that you want to be looking at, man. And that's the same thing they're doing with this, him being a pedophile and shit, and they killed him and shit, and figure that would stop it and end everything. You wouldn't hear no more, you know, it wouldn't be no more story to it and shit, man. And none of the truth to come out about what Epstein really was besides a pedophile. Because they don't want you to know about the other shit he did. They don't want, the governments don't want you to know about that. So they had him arrested and shit, and then they killed him and shit, and that they figured it'd be, you know, silence about it. United States government's in it deep too, man. You don't know that by now. I don't know, man. And I think another thing, if they were to bring out the list of the pedophiles that went to pedophile island and shit, then people may start talking. And if they start talking, government after government after government will be collapsing. You know, he was involved even with Iran, man, with the gun trades and shit, man. Epstein. He wasn't involved, but he the money that was being laundered was going through him and being disappeared. And the people in the United States government, because that's you know, the Congress passed a law. I think it was anonymous. I mean, not anonymous. I think everybody voted for it. I don't think anybody voted against it. Everybody voted for it. Were couldn't be selling arms at that time to a couple different countries, and the people in the government they wanted to feed Saddam over there in Iraq weapons too, and Iran. They wanted to keep the war going for some fucking reason. Excuse my mouth. For some freaking reason, I'm not sure, man. I do believe it was for to get access to some artifacts in Iraq. You know, just saying. But yeah, they wanted to keep that. They'll say that it was for this reason and that reason, but I think it's to get control of some artifacts in Iraq that really tell you about your great ancestors, man, that they don't want you to know about. But yeah, there'd be quite a few government officials that are still around that would go to prison for a long, long time. But see how they did it. You know, they were still selling weapons. They were selling, you know, this is fact. They selling weapons to Iraq, selling weapons to Iran when they were going at it, shit, and having their war and shit. And then all said and done, they went after Saddam, number of weapons of mass destruction, went after him to kill him, get him out of power. They used him. They used Gaddafi too, man. Whatever his name is. I don't know how to pronounce Gaddafi over there in Libya, was it? They used the shit out of that guy, and then they went over there and killed him too, man. They're sick, man. They've always been sick. Their whole bloodline's sick, man. I imagine he was hiding money for Trump too. The Clintons, I ain't really researching. I ain't seeing nothing about them except old Billy there going to the island. But I'm sure because everyone, I'm sure how all that went down too, man. Is people were working with Epstein, the money laundry, hide their money and shit, man, and he would invite them to the island, and I think he get a little bit more money out of it, shit, man, by blackmailing them. And if they went, look at this young girl and shit, woo, they grow up and do this stupid fucking perverted shit, man, and he would blackmail them shit, but yeah, there's quite a few people too that got invited to the island that never went. Joe Rogan, he knew, now he knows. He didn't. I think he just had a sixth sense back then. But oh, you're gonna meet some famous people and shit, and he didn't go. Wasn't really impressed anyway and shit. And I think they're gonna try setting up Joe Rogan, man. Tucker, I think they're going to try setting up Tucker, man, to silence him in his freedom of speech. Barr's son, though, man, I want to do some more research on that sickle, man. I mean, what's the book he wrote? What's it's real life. It's not a sci-fi bullshit, man, but because they like to show you the truth and shit. But yeah, their bloodlines are some sickos, man. Got a migraine, man. It's supposed to rain and it ain't raining. It's killing me. Oh God, I ain't even got my glasses on, man. So I'm saying hi to everybody, man. Oh, I always get that, man. Oh yeah. Why you want me to shut up, man? Here, I'll show it. Oh, another monitor just in it. And why you want me to shut up? Because I'm telling the truth about your alien fucking punk ass, man? Huh? You don't like me talking about it? I know who the owls are, man. Shut up, brother. You shut the fuck up, man. You come to my channel and shit. I didn't go to yours, man. Well, you on the fucking list? Tell me to shut up, bitch. You on the list, man? Huh? Don't worry, it'll get there. It'll come out. Ask Bill Gates. Call it an affair, you know. Whatever, man. It ain't about no affair. But anyway, man, I'll shut up, man, when the Lord Jesus Christ, King of Kings, arrives, man. I usually say people got the freedom of speech. I don't care, man. You can call me names all day long. Don't whatever, man. I've been through more fucking battles on YouTube, man, than you fucking would ever think, man. I'm like Asmongold, man. Asmongold. How much fucking abuse that man's take too? Shit. I feel him. I know it. Been there and done that, man. Don't bother me, man. Well, back in the day, I used to give it right back even harder and shit, motherfucker. But now I just like, whatever, man. You can't do shit to me. You ain't gonna do shit to me. As long as I've been out here, ain't a motherfucker ever showed up in my fucking house. I showed up in other ones' backyards and shit. They never come and said hi, though. But, you know, it's supposed to be about peace, love, and understanding, respect of each other, bro. I don't know, maybe you wanted me to come out here and talk like a Democrat, man, but I'm not a Democrat. I mean, to be honest with you, I see a lot of good things the Democrats done and could do that I agree with, but they're just so fucking far left, man, towards the alien fucking gayness and shit, man, that there ain't no turning back with them, man. You call it socialism, communism, whatever. You can call it whatever, Marxism. You call it whatever the hell you want, man. All it is complete control. But we're going to give everybody free housing. No, you're not. We're going to give everybody free food. No, you're not. You'd be like Cuba and shit and control the food and shit, and then people over there are starving and shit, man. Fucking they lucky to get a bag of flour, man. And don't say I don't know what I'm talking about because I got friends there and shit. Well, I don't got no contact with them lately because of the silence going on over there, but they told me all about it and shit, man. They told me how life is over there. Same with Chile, China. I talk to people in China and shit, man. If you don't walk that walk with the fucking government, man, they'll take you to re-education camps. Oh, don't exist. That's a conspiracy theory. Yeah, whatever, motherfucker. Don't sweep in front of your store or restaurant 3 or 4 times a day and shit and see what happens, man. Find the shit out of you, tax the shit out of you, man. 1 billion people and shit controlled by a handful of people, man. Unbelievable. Just like North Korea. People are so weak and broke down and shit, they ain't got no strength and energy, and they ain't got no heart to fight back anymore, man. They're broke. They broke them. Same with China, broke them. Even here in the United States of America, man, your freedom of speech is been taken away so many fucking times, man. But still, yet people keep on moving on and shit, thinking that they're, that they got complete complete freedom. You ain't got no complete freedom, man. I don't care where you're at in the world. You got these socialist, communist pigs that want to come out here and take a lot more of it away from you and shit, man. Like the guy running for mayor in New York and shit, fucking city run fucking grocery stores, taxing the only white neighborhoods, rich people and shit. Well, there's rich black people in them neighborhoods too, you dumbass. Hates the Jewish people. That guy's just a straight up Marxist, man. He's beyond fucking communist pig. But see that's you get these low income people and shit, less fortunate people, and to think that they're doing something for them, like at FIFA and shit down like in Portland and shit, man. Take for instance shit, give them all this breadcrumb shit, man, and they'll end up sitting there going in the streets, burning down the cities and towns and shit, man. For their little foot soldiers, man, acting like they're somebody, and giving them something and shit, man, for doing the evil thing. It's happening right now today, man. We're sitting there doing it, seeing the same thing and shit, man. With ICE, attacking ICE agents and shit, man. Fuck, that's a federal fucking agent, man. Fucking, hey, motherfucker, I tell you what, man. I'm waiting. I run your ass over. I cap your ass for throwing bricks at me. A brick will kill you in a fucking minute, man. Fucking rock will kill you in a minute. Shit, man. That's a deadly weapon, man. Fuck, you got the right to defend yourself, man. I'm serious. Lucky I ain't a cop out there. Lucky fuck. I'd have to fucking defend myself, man. He just arrest a lot more of these pieces of shit, man. Yep. Little foot soldiers, man, like Alfifa and FIFA, whatever the fuck they call them, fucking Alfredo. Don't want ICE agents to wear masks and shit, but these motherfuckers out here fucking protesting this shit, man, all wearing masks and shit, man. Colleges and the streets. It's okay for them. But hey, man, you think that cancerous shit won't come to your part of your city and shit? I live in a small little city. Yet, trust me, man, it don't matter when all hell breaks loose and shit. See, another thing people don't understand, they talk about the Civil War and shit. Civil War, the Republicans and Democrats, left and right, fucking clashing and shit. They don't understand that the government is orchestrating this shit. They want this to happen. They want it to happen. They're trying to create it to happen. And that way they take over complete control. Fucking, put everybody down on lockdown and shit like during the fucking virus. Martial law, police state. We got to come in and shit. You already seen a tip of it with Trump and shit, man. with what he did out there in California. That's just a tip of it, man. See, Trump playing right into their hand. I mean, he's doing the right thing, because if Trump don't do the right thing with this and squish it and shit, man, it get way out of hand real quick. But the alien deep state, they want this to happen, and they blame it on the Republicans and Trump and shit, man, and it caused more chaos and more widespread fucking violence and destruction and burning down cities and towns. Try to make it a national event and shit, man. They ain't got too much longer, man, because people in the wintertime, man, and the foot soldiers, man, they kind of go back to their fucking welfare checks and shit, man. And once again, you got the Soros and shit, man. Fucking, fucking funneling in the money and shit. He's a piece of shit old fucking. His son ain't worth the fuck either, man. And his son married fucking that Clinton, I don't know what the hell she was and shit, man. Wiener's ex-wife, I think, right? See how they are, how sick they are, man. See how they are, and I mean, right in front of your face and shit. Wiener and shit did what he did and shit, man. He's a lot sicker than what they tell you about too and shit, man. It's always that sexual aspect of these alien group of individuals. I don't call them individuals, man, but you know, they look like to you as the average Joe out there. Just keep to your bloodline, man. You know what I'm saying? Peace, love, and understanding, much respect. Keep to your bloodline, man. Don't come out here and fucking try to fucking be involved in that other shit, man, because it ain't gonna get you nowhere, man. God's not gonna recognize you, man. Come that day when he arrives, he's not gonna recognize you, man. And you already see the signs of that happening. Volcanoes all over the fucking place, and I missed on the earthquake. It was 7.5. I not always perfect and shit, man. One in Alaska, but I said 8.5. I was off, man. And I'll admit it, man. I'll admit it, man, because I know not always right shit, especially, how should I say it? My early stage of forgetfulness, man. You know, and memory's not going to be as sharp as it tomorrow as it is today. And it's unfortunate, but it is what it is, man. That's why when I come out here, I can't remember. I know so much, and still researching, and I I I forget, especially names, man. So I'm never good with names anyway, man. And then I try to come out and put a story out here like I'm doing today, and I can't remember the names of the players and shit. I know the story because I got can keep focus on that, but names and even numbers now, man. I used to be pretty good mathematically with numbers and shit, man. But it is what it is, man. God will have my back throughout it. I know. I know. I just wish I was more efficient than I like when I first got here and shit. I could call out people by their names, and now when I research and shit, I think it's because I've been doing it for so long too that the players keep popping up over and over and over the same family names and shit, like the Bushes and shit. You know that you kind of just go right over top of that and continue on with the story because it's got more interested to me with the story of who they are, once you already knew who they are, their bloodline and shit, and all the activity they do, but everything that's evil in the world is caused by them. The Iranian and Russia war, same things happening. See, Trump didn't want to get into it with the weapons, supplying weapons to Ukraine. You know, he thought he could do a little something with Putin and shit, man. And the people, I think the call them elite, call them what you want, man. But their bloodlines that nothing but pure evil, man. But Trump thought he could, bring that down and shit, man. But they don't want to. They don't want to. They want to, keep supplying the weapons and for both sides. And what'll happen? What's eventually going to happen? Ukrainian president's going to be killed, man, and he's going to be replaced with a puppet. Russia's trying to put in their man, and the United States and NATO and them are trying to put, somebody else in besides who's in there now. And they always say it's about rare earth minerals and shit in different locations of the world and shit. Or it's about oil and shit. It's about artifacts, man. Ancient artifacts. Sure, there's some aspect of it about rare earth minerals and oil and gas and all that shit, yeah. But you always look at them countries always are in control of that oil and shit, or the gas, or the diamonds, or the gold, or the copper, or whatnot. They're always in control of that shit, you know. But the ancient artifacts and shit, that's what they love to get their hands on, man. See, they know the story from a long time. They know the story because they are the story. They're trying to hide it. They're trying to hide them ancient artifacts and whatnot, shit, man. For use, don't understand the truth of who the owls are, who the you call them falling ones, because that's exactly what they are. Cast out of the eye of the Lord Jesus Christ, the King of Kings, man. Like I said, before, they gave him control of this planet. Call him Lucifer, call him what you want to call him, man. Him and his little group of perverts, alien perverts. Because we ain't the only creation God's created, man. That's what people have a difficult of understanding too, because you think that you're the only thing that God ever created. You're selfish, man. He's created the whole universe, space, time. Time's endless, space is endless, parallel universes. I mean, to think that you're the only thing that God's ever created. And they were jealous of you because God created you perfect, man. Like I said before, the story, call him Lucifer, call him what you want. He said that the God having a conversation says that he can create the earth better than God. And God just chuckled, you know. He said, no, he said, I can create the water better than you. I can create the air better than you. I can create the food better than you. I can even create the human species better than you. And God just laughed, man, because he know he got it right the first time because he's God, you know. He said, all right, man. He said, I'll tell you what, I'll give you control of the planet Earth, man, and do as you please, man. Prove to me that you can do better than I can do. So they're down here and they altered your food, GMO food. They put shit in your water. They're spraying shit in the air. They're even changing your DNA. See, that's a true story. God created you perfect, man. You were blind from all this. You're blind from it. You know that you weren't even caring about the process of development and technology and shit, man. You're content being gatherers of wheats and grains and grasses and fruits and shit like that. You know, you pretty much basically lived as an animal, but with a little bit of intelligence at the point in time. And then they come down here and they changed all that shit. That's why on Apple computer there's a bite out of the back of the apple and shit, man. It's all about the technology and the process of advancing you into where you're at today with technology mostly, man. Technology's the, you know, mark of the beast is your phone, your computer, your TV, all that. People, oh no, it's got to be on your forehead and your hand. Oh, you already got a chip, man. You got a chip in your phone, you got a chip in your computer, you got a chip in your TV, you got chip in your car, you got chip everywhere, man. See, the trick was that they did was thinking that this is the way it's got to be, you know, because this is the way you're taught, shit, you know. You're gonna take the mark of the beast, you know, and you're already willing to your credit cards, you know. You're already willing to take the mark of the beast unknowingly. I'm sorry, it's unknowingly, but you already took it. And I know you're gonna say, "Hell, well, you got the chip." Yeah, you know, I was talking to somebody today, and we were talking about the same subject, and about phones and the internet and all that, and computers and stuff. And all right, my point of view was what he said to me today, and I told him that's exactly my point of view. He says, I use it for the good of the Lord Jesus Christ, the King of Kings. He says I use it to spread a message of good, and that's exactly what I try to do. And that's acceptable in God's eyes to use the evilness of it for positive, for good. He's not going to be mad and upset with you. You know, oh, you had a phone and a computer, you had the mark of the beast. No, you got to accept the mark of the beast. Use, you know, like people get on here and Epstein's and shit of the world, shit, man. Downloading all that child porn and shit, man. That's evil. That's not good. That's not positive. It's not positive energy. It's not talking about Lord Jesus Christ. It's, you know, that's even in the kids today, you know, falling short of the glory of God because they're more interested in their video games and their social platforms, you know, and they're not focusing on the goodness of things. There are a lot of people out there, a lot of younger generation and shit that do positive, and God bless them for it, you know. But let's face it, man. Over 90% of teenagers and younger kids. Well, probably nowadays, I would estimate it to be people probably close to their 30s don't use it for the good. Now the older people that say so up on computers and phones and whatnot, which well I should rephrase that, the ones that are able to use technology and shit that are up there in age, you go on there and almost 90% of them are positive energy, and don't even have to be about the Lord Jesus Christ, King of Kings, man. But it's positive, uplifting thing with people that are up there in their age and shit, man. That but the younger generation, they just it's all about what it's all about the games and the social platforms and making money, of course. Yeah, I wish it would have rained, man. Break my migraine, man. But I went to an event today and started at 1:30, and everybody's all worried that the storms were coming, and they never did come and shit. They never did come. But everybody's talking about, yeah, I hope we get done with this before the storm, because it was outside event. Didn't get a spit of rain or nothing, man. And that's another thing with the Anunnaki. Not sure that's all I gotta say is Anunnaki, and I'll get a fucking disclaimer underneath my video and shit, man. But when their planet gets closer to your planet, because they travel with your binary sun and shit, the hotter their planet gets. Well, the hotter your planet gets too, man. And when you read the story, they were spraying shit around their planet, shit, man. That's why they come here and supposedly got gold and different materials and shit, man. It's put around their planet, shit, man, to protect them from your sun, their planet heating up because it does heat up and shit. And you're doing the exact same thing right now. You're reading a playbook out of an ancient story that was written. That's a conspiracy theory, but you're doing the exact same thing right now. Spraying shit around your planet, man. And again, there's different programs and shit, man. I'm not gonna get off into all that right now and shit, man. I done talked about the military aspect use of it and the cloud seeding of it and the trying to dim out the sun's rays and shit. That's the one that's hurting you, man. Fucking DARPA and their black op programs, man. Ain't held liable to nobody, man. And all these companies selling that shit to them, and but yeah, you can read the story and shit way back when, and you see you doing the exact same thing because now you got the technology back the first time and shit. Y'all didn't have technology and shit when this happened and shit. But now you got technology and they're trying to hurry up and be able to accomplish this before this event takes place. But we're close to fucking intelligence of where you need to be for that. See, the Maya didn't get the date wrong, man. It's the people that translated their so-called language. They're the ones that got the date wrong. The Maya didn't get the date wrong. Maya was showing us, man, to be the truth. The Hopi Indians talking about the star people, star beings. And don't forget, there's the good ones too now. You know, don't never give no credit to the good ones. That's unfortunate. But they ain't got much say on this, man. Like I said before, man, God gave control of this planet. You call him Lucifer, like I say. You call him whatever you want to call him, man. But he's got control, him and his group of sickles there, over this planet. And everything you see, man, and now everything you see now is not that of God. It's not. The houses, the streets, the cars, the phones, the computers, the manufacturing, yeah. Like I said, you were content being gatherers, man. Now look at you gather your ass down to the grocery store to get your shit. It wasn't meant to be that way. To be at that level, lower level of intelligence, which is very thin, not a whole lot of it, but enough, and he come down here and flood your minds with intelligence, and the process of getting more and more intelligence is, since it's a downfall of you. And God knew that, man. That's why he didn't give you all that, man. Gave you enough what you can to get you through, get you to survival, man. You can build a little bit of shelter, hunt, gather. It ain't like that now. You can drive to a McDonald's, a Burger King, whatever. Go to the grocery store, get your milk. Go get your water and plastic. Go get your soda pop in aluminum cans. People don't understand, man. That's the earth's gonna shake, man, because Lord Jesus Christ, King says he's gonna make it shake. And another thing, me and this individual we're talking about in the days of Noah, of God said he wouldn't flood the whole world. And that's true. But I explained to this other individuals, it don't mean he ain't gonna flood parts of the world. I says, till that asteroid hits and shit, man, till the fire arrives, he flood out certain areas of the world. Of course, you already see it happening now. See, the evil ones, they're trying real hard to make the Lord Jesus Christ, King of Kings, a liar by flooding out the whole world. They love nothing more to flood out the whole world. Shit, but God said that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen again. But you are going to see parts of the world that are going to flood, but it ain't the whole world. God's not lying. A couple of raindrops starting to come right now. Cool. We don't really need no rain, but they pounded the hell out of us and shit, man. Heavy downpours, man. 15, 20 minutes, boom. But that's all what they're doing now. They're trying harder and harder and harder. Yeah, I'm not a god in God's army, man. I don't fear none of this, man. Because I know who's going to win in the end. So that's a given. And if you ain't on that side, man, I'm sorry, man. No, actually, I don't feel sorry for you. Not at all. Maybe I should, but I don't. Because you had every opportunity, like so many of us, to do the right things in life and shit. Sure, we all mess up, man. I fall short of the glory of God. I done some stupid shit, not lie about it. I ain't never lied about it and shit. But it was a learning lesson, you know. And it didn't take any major event of bad or anything, for me to finally find the Lord Jesus Christ, King of Kings. What it took was finding the truth and realizing all that they've been trying to cover up and hide from each and every one of us. That's when I found the Lord Jesus Christ, King of Kings. I knew that He was telling me the truth. He's the only one that ain't lied to each and every one of us. All throughout history, man, ain't nothing but a big effing lie, man. But that's how, that's how I found the Lord Jesus Christ. I said, man, God's been telling us the whole story and the whole truth from the beginning. He's the only one that ain't lied to us. Everybody else, lies to you and shit, But He's the only one that ain't lied, man. Maybe there is something to this, and I read His words even more, and I say, yeah, He's real. He's real. And I do appreciate some of the intelligence that I have because it's interesting to explore the mind of things. It's good things, things like space, time, time travel, parallel universes, black holes. You know, it's a good thing because it's good to indulge yourself in these things, man. But you're never gonna have a complete understanding, man, how perfect everything is, the universe, man. I mean, mathematically, the numbers are just too perfect for not to be created, man. It's just everything. It's just too perfect. God, he's amazing. I don't think God don't talk about artificial intelligence. He talked about aliens. It's just the way that it was taken over and disguised. It's just different stories. For instance, they use angels. Instead of the word alien. Oh, here comes a cop, man. There goes the cop. He's got. There's a couple of them, man. I ain't got my driver's license on me, and anyway, I've been smoking. There's 3, 4 cops. I can hear another one coming. Hang on. We had a teenager the other day go steal a car from here, and had a little baby in the back seat. Shit. You can hear another one's coming too, man. I don't. You can't see shit. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Another one just turned off his lights. He ain't got here yet. One still got his lights on. Huh. Is this gonna be an ambulance? Yeah. Ambulance and fire truck. Can't really tell. They sure got there pretty quick. I couldn't guess what's going on. I would guess probably heart attack somewhere down that nature of line, but I don't know why they'd have so many cops show up like that though. I could drive around this town for 2, 3 months and not see a freaking cop on the road. Oh, car just turned that way, man, going straight down my going around them. Maybe. No, he's turning that base. There's gotta be 4 or 5 cops down there, man. I do believe that's an ambulance, like the fire department rescue or something. I know they've been working on a house about down by that area. I would drive down there, man. Like I said, man, I smoked the joint, shit, man. Don't cop your lights on me, and I don't smoke and drive, man. Yeah, that's interesting. Like I said, we had a young teenager steal a car from here, from Port Huron. Drove all the way down to Chesterfield and crashed with a little baby in the back. The mother was on the news, and then I thought to myself, you know what? You should be arrested for what's that? Legit. I can't even say the word, man. Neglecting your child, man. Leaving your child in the back seat. I don't give a shit, man. Why you running in the store or whatever and shit. You were at fault and a little something. And I think this kid's done this 6, 7 times, man. Shame on the court systems too, man. Back when I was growing up, they had Whitmore Lake, BTS, Boys Training School. Like you got thrown in there and shit, man. You knew it, man. You had the what's it called? Boot camp program and shit too, man. That one I didn't. I'm glad I never went to that, man. Them motherfuckers used to make them carry around big old logs, just like boot camp shit, man. Worse and shit, man. Get down and give me 50. Who you talking to? They would BTS was a boys training school. That's more like a miniature little prison. Whitmore Lake, a little bit same thing. At least they had programs back then. Now they just they don't do anything to these kids, man. That's why they do what they're doing. That's another thing that the ones want to do. No discipline in your children and shit, man. Like call the cops on your ass because you spanked them for fucking doing drugs or whatnot. You punish your children and shit, man. Boom, they call the cops. Next thing you know, you're in jail. And your kid's still at home and shit, man, doing the exact same shit. You put a good ass whipping on them and shit, man, because you love them. I'm not doing this because I hate you and shit, not abusive parents. I'm doing this because I love you, man. It's the only way I think I'm going to get through to you is, man, socking in your fucking head. Excuse me. Sorry about the truth, man. Yeah, I'm rolling a cigarette now and talk for another couple seconds in here and shit, man. Couple minutes, I should say. Yeah, they're still down there. I don't know. I think it's some kind of medical. I'm a pretty good guesser, man. Some kind of medical drug overdose or something. Yeah. It'd be domestic drunk. Never a dull moment anymore in this town again, man. Especially in the summer, man. Wintertime is like anywhere else, man. They settle down and shit. Cold seems to trigger something, man. Mellow them all out. Saying being able to go out and wander the streets and shit, man. Too cold for them. Yeah, y'all gotta do some research on Epstein and shit, man. Really look at what he was about, shit, and you realize, it's about the money, man. It's about the cover up with the government and shit, man. Weapon trade, sells. I should say trade sells. What it is, trade their fucking souls and fucking from money. And I'm sure, I've been looking at the Ukraine and Russia thing going on and shit, man, and what's going on with that, and this rare earth mineral shit been popping up a lot lately throughout the world and shit, man. And I'm beginning to believe that's what's going on with Ukraine, and that's why Trump went and made that deal and shit, man. For nobody else could come in there and get possession of what little bit there really ain't a whole lot there, if you're telling you the truth, man. But I'm seeing it more and more lately. The more I've been looking into things and shit, um, it's happened here in the United States of America. You know, um, father and son and shit. Their property up next to some uranium, and the government wanting control of their property and shit because there was a lot on their property and shit, and setting them up and shit. And y'all remember that. Big protest and Roy Finnegan being shot by the FBI and shit. That's what that was all about. That rare earth minerals and shit. Same with Bundy's there, man. Same shit, man. It wasn't about no fucking turtles and his cattle fucking hurting the turtles. That had nothing to do with it, man. That's what they try to go through and shit, man. And they were doing the right thing and shit, going through the legal process and shit, even though it was they weren't gonna win for one because they wouldn't have the money to fucking go through all that. But they got infiltrated and shit by the government, and these people came in here and instigated shit at Bundy Hill and shit, man, and then it went on from there and shit, man. Made it look like it's a group of individuals, the Bundys and people supporting them were all evil and bad and shit, but they were infiltrated, man. Time and time again, man. Burns, Oregon, same shit, man. Infiltrated by people that instigated shit, man. Cost a man his life. I never, when I was there and shit, man, 'cause I was there from day one to time Pete Santilli got arrested. And I was still a part of that for a while after that, but I never the day that two agents are sitting outside the motel door. And I'm inside, it's all dark and shit, man. I'm in there smoking a joint. Everything's shut down and shit. Pete, so Deb's room was right next door to mine. And Yeah, they get ready to jack our doors and shit, man. Come in, you know. I don't know what they're gonna look for something or plant. I more or less I think they were gonna plant shit. Tell you the truth. But I'm sitting there smoking a joint and shit, man. I opened up that door, man, and surprised the shit out of both of them and shit, man. And I had the joint right in my hand too and blew it in their fucking face. They just turned around and walked away and shit. And then the next day, because that motel had a little breakfast, you know, you can eat breakfast in the morning, free breakfast, whatever and shit. We're in there and I'm telling Jim and Kenny, I said, that's the two guys right there and shit. No, that's the two fucking guys right there. Fucking, they're federal agents and shit. I'm telling you right now and shit, man. I said it loud enough for they could fucking hear me too. I said, they didn't even have a fucking room there. What the fuck, right? But I know how they operate, man. The only way you're gonna know how they operate is being look at January 6th, infiltrated by fucking government shit, man. And next thing you know, they let all them people in there, man. They orchestrated the whole damn shit, man. I was sitting there filming it live, showing people. I was the first one showing people live that look at these motherfuckers with their mask on and shit, moving the fucking barrier there and shit, man. And you look at the other group behind them. Come on, come on, come on. It was orchestrated, man. You can see it plain as day and shit, man. Bobby Powell, man, like him or not, shit, man. He 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 tried getting his videos out there and showing the players and shit, man. Showing the fucking federal agents and shit. I don't even know if he's still alive or not, man. Him and Pete Santilli had a fall out. Try to blame LaVoy Finnegan's death on Pete Santilli, but I mean Pete had a fallout too, man. But I was man enough to call Pete and shit, man, and squish shit, man. I told him, and I asked him. I said, I'm probably the only one that's ever called you to squish shit, you know, apologize and whatnot, shit. And I'm man up about it. And I says, has anybody else ever done that in your lifetime? You know, I said, there you go, man. I'm a real motherfucker, dude. I can call him to this day if I want, man, but I don't. I don't even go to his what's he on, man? One of them social platforms and shit. I don't even go to that, man. I don't even watch Pete Santilli anymore. Ever since he got arrested and went to prison and found not guilty, but he still spent quite a few years in there. He ain't the same. He ain't got the same thrive anymore, man. That being honest, he don't really even dig that deep in the shit and you know and the truth and lay out, you know, like Epstein shit. Pete Santilli come out and talked about from the beginning of Epstein and shit all the way through and explained to everybody all the different shit he had doing and what he was doing and shit, man. Yeah. You don't see Alex Jones doing it either. Very few people out here talk about it. And some are doing it just to keep away from the pedophile fucking end of it, you know? Doing it for the wrong reason. But like I said, that's a shiny object they wanted you to look at, you know. Epstein was a pedophile. There, he was a pedophile fucking from day one and shit. There's no question about it, you know. First job as a math teacher and shit, and did lead high school there. He was a pedophile, and I don't think he was around 20 years old or so and shit. Wasn't qualified for the job, but nonetheless, man. You gotta research and look and shit, man. But it takes a lot. It takes a lot of research, man. And like I said, you can go watch these other people, go watch me and shit, but you still got to find it yourself, man. You got to kick over that rock and look underneath that rock yourself, man. But most people are just rather just listen to somebody else tell them it. They don't want to do no back check and shit. And I find it quite interesting with these fucking alien bloodline pieces of shit, man. Of course, you ain't nothing but peasants and shit, man. They'll never be inside the palace and shit. You're always gonna be outside the palace, like you see throughout history with China, Maya. They're always outside the palaces, and the only time it was the gathering mostly was worshiping the evil part back then days. And they're still down there, man. I'll never know what that was about. All right, cut this short, man. Put a lid on it like Biden. Obama, man, what a piece of shit he was too, man. And communist bitch. And think all that. Look at all the money that piece of shit made, and his wife. It's what gets me, man. These people that are voting for this shit. Oh, they're for us and shit. Like, do your children go to a private fucking school? Well, he is the president of the United States of America. His kids were going to private school way before that, man. Another one that was groomed. What I say at the beginning about sex, 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 sex. They do what they're told and shit. They get the money and their mansions here and there, and you don't do what you're told and shit, man. You end up dead in a jail cell, acting like you hung yourself. Most of the time, no, they don't even give a shit, man. They just shooting motherfuckers or chop them up and shit. Michael Jackson had a relationship with Epstein. But that was for two different reasons. One was the pedophile shit, and the other one was all about money, man. Michael Jackson trying to hide money and shit. Fucking Epstein stole it from him. That's what I mean, When Barr arrested Epstein for the pedophile shit, they knew about all the other shit, but they couldn't arrest him on that because he would he's going to talk anyway, but they arrest him on the pedophile shit and give him time to do what they had to do to him. Because he was telling him, man, I'm going to talk, man. No, you're not. We're only going to give you about 20 years. Federal prison. Federal prison, that would be pretty nice for you. But no. He's gonna start giving up names, man, about deals and shit, man. It goes deep, man. Like I said, it's about the guns and the drugs, the wars. But they want you to focus on the pedophile shit and less the names and shit, man. Which is one reason that the names don't come out, because, like I said, if the names come out, then people most likely won't be arrested anyway, but they may talk. They may tell how some of these wars were started, man, by different countries and shit. Israel ain't innocent either, man. Put that out there. I stand with my brothers and sisters, man, but they ain't innocent, man. Neither are a lot of these countries in the Middle East either, man. But most of them just get used. Libya, Syria, Iraq. They're trying like hell with Iran. And then there's some of them that just like, it's enough of this bullshit, man. Get their hands on nuclear weapons. Kind of keeps the shit at bay. North Korea, China. I felt that they had to, protect themselves from this, man. Because any given country, man, at one point in time, before the nuclear weapon scene and shit, man, could be overthrown and taken by the alien bloodline. We still see it today. The weak countries that they got nuclear weapons, shit, they're getting their ass kicked all the time. Remember, Ukraine had nuclear weapons, man. Remember that? They got rid of all their nuclear weapons and shit. Now look where the stupidest move they ever made. Now look where they're at. Libya, Coffee, he was wanting nuclear weapons, and he even agreed not to go ahead and get nuclear weapons. He agreed to it, shit, man. But they still went in and killed him, man, for just thinking about it. Same thing happening right now with Iran. But Iran's more evil and would use a nuclear weapon, man, against his neighbors, especially Israel. Pillars of smoke. It's happened before, man. Your ancient ancestors witnessed that, man. They just didn't have words to describe it. They weren't at that advanced of intelligence then, to describe nuclear weapons, UFOs, aliens, called them angels, nuclear weapons, pillars of smoke. They didn't have the words to describe what they were witnessing, man. Well, the cops are still down there. I don't know if that ambulance or whatever it was left, man. All right, man. Cutting it short. Peace, love, and understanding. Much respect, man. God bless each and every one of you. Be that of God and God's army, because you are an army to fear, and they fear you knowing the truth.